That's a cat. He's really big. During the outdoors, got this buck on the ground. Hey guys, Dave here, Journey to the Outdoors. What I want to do is show you guys how to make a catfish dough bait today. So I got some ingredients and I'm going to show you this bait. It works great. I've caught a lot of catfish on it, and you know, it's simple ingredients that you can buy at the store. They don't cost a lot, you know, and you use very little of the ingredients, so you can make big amounts of the dough bait. So you try this out, catch some catfish, you know, come to my video and rate it and comment, tell me how you do with the catfish bait. I'm sure you do good, and you know, show the size of the catfish that you caught. So I'm gonna go ahead and show you this. I've been using this for a while now, and it's just been passed down through the family, so I'm just gonna show you this and check this out. Alright, so the first thing you want to do is have your pair of gloves, you know, and it doesn't matter what kind. I mean, you don't have to use gloves if you don't want to, that's fine, but I guarantee you're gonna get your hands sticky, and it probably won't come off for a couple of days. So that's just to tell you. And always the best catfish baits are always really sticky. So what I did was, first off, I had some bread and I had about 2 slices and dried that out for like 4 or 5 days. Just threw it in the refrigerator. It'll take a little less time if you put it in the refrigerator. Just a couple of days. Throw that in there, let it get hard and dry, and get all the smell of the refrigerator. And then once that gets hard, go ahead and take about a half a cup of peanut butter, actually to about a cup of peanut butter, and you want to crush all of that bread together and the peanut butter together, and I made it into like a ball. So I got my peanut butter and I got my bread in there and crushed it up. You can buy breadcrumbs and do it easier that way if you want to, but I think it's just better when you have the bread and then like whole slices and it just kind of crumbles down to big chunks. I think it's better that way. But go ahead, and I got that mixed together. And then what I have is I have some honey. Okay, you need honey, and I got some garlic, and that's minced garlic, so it's also in the oil. Then I got some garlic powder. Now this is onion powder. That's why I use the minced garlic. But I got some onion powder, and then I got some flour. Now the flour is just in case it gets too thinned out, then I can add a little flour. So the flour is just as needed. You may not, it's not a specific amount that you'll use, but depending on how stiff you want the batter. But it'll actually dry up too once you put it in the refrigerator. But you can make this just before you go also. But sometimes if you're going to make it the day before you go fishing, go ahead and throw it in the refrigerator. It'll be alright. It'll firm up just a little bit, and yeah, it'll stay on the hook a little bit better. But also I got some liquid smoke. Now most guys thinking, why are you putting liquid smoke in there? You're fishing to eat that. Yeah, right. If you ever used liquid smoke before, liquid smoke, the scent of it just goes so far and it stays on anything it touches. It is so potent. Like if you ever see a recipe for liquid smoke, it is like a very small amount that you would actually use because it goes so far. So that's why you throw this in the water and you throw this in your bait. Once it hit the water, that scent is going everywhere. It's going to let that fish know exactly where your bait is. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. So right now I have my peanut butter in there. I'm going to throw about a tablespoon of garlic. Spoon here. I'm going to throw a tablespoon of garlic in there. Boy, I tell you, that just smells good. Makes me want to bite it right now. But throw a tablespoon of garlic in there, and then see that garlic oil is what's gonna make it a little bit more looser. Okay, and then you want to throw in about another tablespoon onion powder, and that's gonna dry it up a little bit. And if you want to loosen it up a little bit, you can add a little bit of water, or add a add a little bit more smoke, but I will hold off on the smoke and probably put in water. Water would be a little bit better. You know, just a little bit goes a long way. Then I add my honey. You want to add about a tablespoon of that, and you can adjust it if you want to make a bigger batch, but I'm just making this little small batch right now. Then you want about a tablespoon of the liquid smoke. Now if you want to use more, go right ahead, but you don't need much. Like I said before, you don't need much, and that stuff goes everywhere. It doesn't matter. Whatever it touches, it just stays in it for a while. And then you go ahead and after you got all that together, mix it up. Alright, so I got it there now. I'm going to go ahead and start mixing it. And as you can see, it's getting really, really mushy. So that's what I was talking about. That's where you see how you put your finger in it and it keeps the shape. Now it may come back, it's coming back a little bit. So what I want to do is go ahead, it's a little bit wet. So what I want to do is go ahead and add in some flour. And now the flour you want to add in there just till it firms up a little bit. So I'll coat it a little bit. And then I'll go ahead and start working it in there. And you want it like a dough, but not too. You see how that's sticking to my hand? That's how I was putting the glove on for. So once it starts getting firmer, you'll see it'll start getting into a ball, kind of like pasta dough or something. And I'll get that to start sticking. And see that flour has gluten in it, and that's what makes it stick together, makes it really, really sticky. And once you sit it in the refrigerator, see now it's starting to firm up. I can stick my finger in there and it'll stay that shape. That tells me it's getting about there. And as I said, it depends on how dry you want it. Now you could put too much flour in it and it'll get too dry and it'll crack once you put it on the hook, and it'll just throw right off. And one other tip I want to throw in here is just go ahead and if you want to, you could take treble hooks and take your ice tray. Don't take your wife's ice tray because she'll get mad, I'm sure. Go to the store, spend about $1 on some ice trays, sit your treble hook in there and bite off little bits like that size, or maybe a little bit bigger, whatever size your treble hook is. To the treble hook and the little ice cubes, and then push your dough bait right on it. Put it in the freezer, and just before you get ready to go hunting, take them out. Just thread your line through it and toss it out there, and it'll melt and break off as it starts to melt. But see that oil in that and see how that's getting good. But the oil from the garlic keeps it not sticky. So if I wanted to, I could put a little bit more flour in this and get it really, really sticky. So now I want to go ahead, and that's pretty good. I could put my finger in it and it'll leave a print. So what I'll do is go ahead and throw this in the refrigerator, and it'll firm up. It'll be ready to go. So there you go. You got your dough bait. As I said, it's starting to firm up. Put it in the refrigerator until the day after. That'll be fine, and it'll be ready to go. Just throw it on the hook. It'll stay on there. If it doesn't, throw some stocking around it. Get you some pantyhose. Cut it a little square. Throw some stocking around it. That'll hold it on there better. Or get a dough bait hook. Either way, treble hook. So just follow your state rules. And as I always say, guys, go out there, be safe. Whether you're fishing or hunting, be safe. Enjoy the outdoors. That's a cat. He's really big. Journey the outdoors. Got this buck on the ground.